that he wants to use the Ram Mandir as a political crutch to consolidate Hindu votes, even if that means disrespecting ancient Hindu customs, defiling Hindu traditions. This is what we are being told. For this unimpaired insight, viewers, the defenders of the Hindu tradition must owe their gratitude to the Venerable Uttarakhand Jyotish Peeth Shankaracharya Avi Mukteshwarananda. Speaking from his exalted position as pontiff of all things pious in Hinduism, His Eminence, the Shankaracharya, has opined that, and I quote, "A temple is the body of God. The temple's peak represents God's eyes, and the kalash represents the head. The flag on a temple is God's hair," the Shankaracharya said. It is not right to instill life or go for pran pratishtha in the body without its head or eyes. This goes against our scriptures, he says. Hence, I will not be going there. Where, viewers? On January 22nd to the pran pratishtha, because, he says, if I go there, people will say scriptures have been violated in front of me, unquote. The Congress that wasn't exactly chomping at the bits to attend the pran pratishtha found the perfect excuse, viewers, to bow out and target Modi. And it didn't pull its punches. Pawan Khera said BJP's political project is the Ram Mandir. Stand of holy seers shows pran pratishtha has no sanctity. That's Udit Raj, another Congress leader. Viewers, it now turns out that the Shankaracharya may have been selective, and if not, then perhaps he was ignorant of the Somnath precedent. Yes, viewers, the Somnath precedent. And where is this Somnath precedent? Well, viewers, it resides in the well-thumbed pages of the annals of the Somnath Temple Trust. The document details that even this great monument to the restoration of Hindu dignity was built in stages, much like today's Ram Mandir is being built in stages, in phases, viewers. Consequentially, the Shivlings, the Somnath temple's Shivlings, pran pratishtha happened as soon as the Garbhagriha was constructed. In fact, the temple was only fully completed 14 years later. Viewers, let me read out what this booklet that captures the chronology of how the Somnath temple was built says. Now, I'll read out an excerpt for you, viewers. This has been accessed by this channel, your channel, CNN News 18. It's an exclusive, and I want to quote out of it. It says, on May 8th, 1950, the foundation stone for Somnath temple was laid by Somnath Trust Chairman Jam Sahib Shri Digvijay Singh Ji. The floor was made of stone, and the sanctum sanctorum or Garbhagriha was constructed on top of it. On May 11, 1951, at 7:47 a.m., the Shivling of Lord Somnath was consecrated by President Rajendra Prasad. Pandit Saraswat Ji did the Mahapuja. The Jal Abhishekam ceremony was done with water from 108 Tirth along with 101 gun salute. Sky echoed with chants of Jai Somnath. Afterwards, in the days and years that ensued, Somnath Trust Chairman Maharaj Jam Sahib Digvijay Singh Ji guided the construction of the new temple. So the Garbhagriha was made ready, the Shivlinga in the Garbhagriha that was installed, the pran pratishtha happened in 1951. Subsequently, viewers, Digvijay Singh Ji guided the construction of the new temple, and 14 years later on May 13, 1965, the construction of the Sabha Mandap and the Shikhar, the top, was completed, and Digvijay Singh Ji performed the Maharudra Yagna. At 12:30 in the afternoon, after consecrating the Kalash, Digvijay Singh Ji hoisted the holy crochet flag. Now remember, viewers, what the Shankaracharya said. He said that without the peak, without the kalash, and without the crochet flag, you cannot ever consecrate the idol. But in Somnath, viewers, it happened, and no one raised an objection. Not leaving anything to chance, I decided to look for corroboration, and it came through the good offices of the chief architect of the Ram Mandir. Viewers, I will always give you the truth, the hard facts, because they're immutable. And I don't want to give you anything half-baked, so I did my due diligence. I said, no, I need another source. I can't only believe what the Somnath temple log is saying. So I then spoke with Chandrakant Sompura. And viewers, he corroborated exactly the chronology of what happened in Somnath. Now he ought to know, as his grandfather was the chief architect of the Somnath temple. Here is what Mr. Sompura told me today.
वैसे राम जी को एक अपने स्थान पे कि जहाँ 6x3 की कटिया है, उसमें जहाँ जन्म हुआ है, वहां अगर बिठा देंगे तो काम एक अच्छी तरह से हो जाएगा और सरल भी हो जाएगा। और दूसरा ये है कि कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है कि पूरा मंदिर बने तभी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो। जैसे सोमनाथ का मंदिर का तो खाली गर्भगृह ही बना था, मंडप भी एक भी नहीं बना था, खाली मतलब 13x13 का गर्भगृह बना और इसके ऊपर डोम बना और पूरा मंदिर का प्राण प्रतिष्ठा उस टाइम हो गई थी। और अपने सब मान्य किया था कि ये ठीक बात होनी है, भगवान ने अपना जगह ले ली है। ये इसके सामने तो ये मेरे ख्याल से काफी काम हो गया है, इसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है मंदिर में मूर्ति रखने में।
Now viewers, this has also been confirmed. Now third source by K.M. Munshi. He of course was a dissident within the Nehru cabinet when all of this was happening. And he's also talked about the same chronology, that the Garbhagriha and the consecration of the Shivling happened in 1951. The rest of the temple, the construction of the Somnath temple finished in 1965, 14 years later. So viewers, if the Congress didn't have a problem with the Somnath temple then, if the Shankaracharyas didn't think it was a defilement then, why a completely different tune is being sung today? The facts prompt many questions. Why did the Uttarakhand Shankaracharya oppose Pran Pratishtha when no one ever said that a similar chronology adopted in 1951 in Somnath, as I've just shown you, was impious? Why did you object to BJP allegedly blurring the lines between politics and spirituality when his own predecessor often conflated the two? There are no simple answers, but it might have something to do with politics. The Shankaracharya's predecessor, Swami Swarupananda, was not well disposed towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi. As a long-time Congress party sympathizer, he would often criticize Modi government's policies. In fact, he even had a problem with the Modi government replacing one of its chief ministers in Uttarakhand before the very consequential Uttarakhand election, viewers, last year. When he passed away, his successor, Avi Mukteswaranand, who is today raising questions about the piety of the consecration ceremony. Now viewers, he was elevated to the position of the Peeth's head, pontiff. But viewers, it was opposed by the Niranjani Akhada. In fact, the Akhada succeeded in getting a court-mandated stay on Avi Mukteswaranand's accession. The Niranjani Akhada has been reported to have come out in support of Prime Minister Modi's work. Naturally, viewers, the Shankaracharya today has a problem. While the Uttarakhand Shankaracharya has clearly decided to risk his credibility, it's rather foolhardy of the Congress to have followed suit. Has the Congress party made up its mind to risk the goodwill of the Hindu community by using flimsy pretexts to not attend the Pran Pratishtha? And if so, is it because of its over-dependence on minority votes? Simple questions tonight. The hard facts are speaking. I don't even need to speak tonight. But let's open this up. Let's open this up. Let's ask our esteemed panel this evening, what is to be made of this great lie? Why was it even at any level uttered? Dr. Ranganathan is here with us. We have the Congress sympathizers, two of them, in fact. It's a solid bunch of sympathizers today. Also, very pugilistic viewers. They come out with all guns blazing and they never pull their punches. And I'm talking about Mr. Jindal and again, the incomparable analyst there, Mr. Kurian, George Kurian. They won't spare me if I'm wrong, but the facts are there and they're speaking, Dr. Ranganathan. Tuhin Sinha is also there, writer, author, not just the general spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Ranganathan, what am I supposed to make of this? The facts are clear. The documents are there. Historical records have been pulled out by me. Corroboration has to be had. But we've had this attempt to blot this entire pratishtha. Is this denigration by design? Simple pointed question.
The simple answer, before I even say good evening, Rahul, is yes. And now good evening to you, Rahul, and good evening to all my esteemed fellow panelists. I have 3 points to make. And first of all, before I do that, I must heartily congratulate you on your amazing primer that brings out all the facts as the program justifies its name as hard facts. Really fantastic. Kudos to you for doing that research. I'm proud also of the fact that you have stolen whatever I was about to say, stolen my thunder in no small measure. So thank you so much for doing that.
No, but you'll always have 50% more hard facts than me. So I have no illusions about that. Go ahead.
Not at all. But I mean, the fact that I was going to present would actually be an addition, a value addition to the facts that you have presented, especially for the people from the left and the Congress, because I'm going to quote a newspaper that is their favorite. But I'll come to that a bit later. The fact of the matter, Rahul, is that the Congress has horribly miscalculated by calling it a BJP agenda, BJP temple, Prime Minister's work, everything to do with. They have completely misread the sentiments of 1.4 billion people. And I'm not just saying 1 billion Hindus. Every Indian is going to be proud on January 22nd because, as I said, this is not a political or even a national issue. This is a civilizational issue. I speak as a Darwinian atheist. I have no skin in the game. So I will not be able to comment about what the Shankaracharya ji, the Honorable Shankaracharya was saying, whether he's right or wrong or whatever, but your facts, and I'm going to corroborate them, prove otherwise, because you took the example of the holy consecration of Somnath, and clearly what Shankaracharya ji said was not followed there. But anyway, the point of the matter is I don't have any skin in the game, and yet this is, for me, in half a millennium, the most important moment for every Indian. Now, how could Congress miscalculate it? I'll tell you why. Because, as I said, civilizationally, they have been anti-Bharat civilization. Right from the fact when Nehru said that Somnath would actually be, he fears Hindu revivalism, to the fact that a Congress leader inside the Krishna Janambhoomi Sansthan sold off the valuable 2 acres land to the Eidgah. And then for the next 50 years, the Congress was saying there is no need to go back and reclaim Ram Janambhoomi, to the Places of Worship Act, to calling Gyan Vyapi secular. Congress is anti-civilizational. I want to ask you, what was stopping Congress from celebrating the consecration of Ram Mandir? Why is the Congress not distributing the invitation cards? Why is the Congress did not say that out of the 15 members of the Temple Construction Trust, why shouldn't we also participate in it? Because they misread. And now finally, I want to show you this, Rahul. Congratulations to you for having shown the temple papers as well as talked to Shri Sompura ji. But this is the Hindu edition of May 12, 1951. And you can clearly see, this is when Hindu is talking about the consecration has happened. And here it says, Gopuram to be constructed. And it says, it's very difficult to read it. It's, in any case, it's always difficult to read the Hindu, but in this case, it's like 70 years old. It says the construction of the temple may take a decade for completion. Clearly, it says it. The report is of consecration by the president. So this proves what you have just said. And I can actually, message you, WhatsApp you the Hindu edition. The point of the matter is, everything is going according to what Indians would like it to go. Yes, there might be some objections, but as a Darwinian atheist, no skin in the game, I completely say that again and again. For me, the most important thing is that for 20 generations before us, our ancestors, since 1500 till now, 20 generations were forced to see a mosque in the place of temple there. Ours is the 21st generation that is going to see a temple. That is all that matters to me. Nothing else, Rahul, nothing else.
My word, you have actually blown the boat, the Congress boat out of the water, Dr. Ranganathan, by pulling out the Hindu. Because that is, of course, the Bible. The Telegraph used to be, but then the Telegraph you ripped into, I think, in Bengal, and that was the end of the Telegraph. Now you are doing that to the Hindu. Now, you see, viewers, I won't even call this the consecration of a Hindu resurrection. I will just call it the consecration of Hindu dignity. We were denied it, and look at the Congress. And you see, Mr. Jindal, now I know that you don't like me. You may like me as a person, but you don't like me as the exponent of I mean, I have this unerring ability to pull out some facts that embarrass you, so you don't like that about me. But I just want to ask you, do you at least like the journalism of courage of the Indian Express? Yes or no? First just answer yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. Now, have you read the Indian Express's editorial, sir? It could be echoing what Dr. Ranganathan has said today. At least you have conviction in the Indian Express. 3 days ago, the Indian Express said that the Congress party is on the wrong side of history. Now, I'm asking you, are you on the wrong side of history by default or by design? No. This is the question I want to ask you, sir.
Rahul, let me clear some misconceptions.
I just sent you the Hindu report, Rahul.
Hindu report. Okay.
I'll clear certain misconceptions.
Design or by default, sir? Is it a mistake? You know, Dr. Ranganathan was slightly charitable. He said, big mistake. No. I'm asking you, I'm turning the knife in your side. Is the Congress by design on the wrong side of history? Is there a design here? Come on. Now, come on. Answer me. No, what about?
First of all, two misconceptions I would like to clear.
Oh.
The first one is, I have immense regard and adoration for you. It's not that I hate you. And second, and the most important is,
No. I didn't mean it that way.
It's wrong to compare Somnath with Ayodhya.
Oh my
because
God.
As per the scriptures.
Oh Lord. No. Just a minute, sir. Now, just a minute.
Allow me to complete.
No, 1 second. Mr. Jindal, 1 second.
Few seconds.
No, Mr. Jindal, I only asked you a specific question. I have brought out facts.
Let me present certain facts.
Okay. Fair enough, facts. Okay.
There are two ceremonies. One is called Anavardhan. Another is called Punarvardhan.
Yeah.
Anavardhan is a set of rites and rituals for a newly constructed temple. And Punarvardhan, as per the Kumbh Abhishekam ceremony, is for a temple that is being rebuilt. And both the rites and rituals are very different from each other. In Ayodhya, which is another form of temple architecture, where we see the Shikhara Amalak Kalash, along with Garbhagriha, forms the central part of the microcosm of universe. It has separate rules when we are talking about the Vesara and the Dravidian form. Let us not go into the technical nitty-gritty of it.
But the most important aspect is, Anand, please,
I did not interject, brother. I did not interject, please. So when we are talking about the temple architecture, the Prana Pratishtha ceremony, it is just not merely symbolic, but it also involves a set of rites and rituals which are to be followed in order to have...
So, Anavardhan versus Purnavardhan is what you're saying. Now, look, viewers, I told you, and Dr. Ranganathan, and look how the Congress is today turned its bazooka and shot its leg off, not just the foot. Now, viewers, I told you that the Congress has blindsided. He has literally taken the Hindu out of our civilization. And it has happened by design. Let me finish. Let me finish. You see, viewers, what did the ASI find under the Babri Masjid? Did it find a temple or not? I'm not making that up. Go and read it. Today, this is not the new temple being constructed. This is just, viewers, an old foundation that has
Rahul,
been.
we
Well,
are
let me
not
finish, sir.
reconstructing
Now you
the
see, you will
old
not.
temple.
Now you see, this is where the problem is. Both Somnath and the Ram Lalla's birthplace, both viewers, the Somnath temple stood on ground that was already been a temple. It was demolished right down to its foundations. The same happened in Ayodhya, in the Ram Janam Bhoomi. A temple stood demolished, on top of which the Babri Masjid was constructed in such a way that even the foundations were not traceable. So what did you have? The Supreme Court orders an ASI survey, and we scratch around, and guess what we find? We find the remains of a temple. So viewers, the foundations of our civilization were already there in both places, and they are telling me that we can't make this comparison. Can you believe it, viewers? 3 days back they were making this comparison. Today when I expose it, they change the goalposts. They've changed the pillars of this debate. Forget the goalposts. This worries me, viewers, because this tells me that there is a design here. George Kurian, design? This can only happen if you thought this through. It can't happen by accident.
Well, Rahul, good evening to your viewers and to my co-panelists from the show. Let me come straight to your question. This is neither by design or nor by default. The Congress party believes that the consecration ceremony at Ayodhya and Prabhu Lord Ram is BJP is trying to politicize the entire event by making it political. The reason why I'm saying it's political is because there is no harm or there is no issue with the presence of Prime Minister Modi or doing the Pran Pratishtha Puja at this Ayodhya temple. It is his addressing the nation from Ayodhya, which is a concern for the Congress party. The invitation for just a formality that has come from the Ram Mandir Trust, which has been extended to the Congress party, being the principal opposition party in this nation. Sorry. So I strongly believe that the Bharatiya Janata Party, or for that matter the RSS, Vishnu Hindu Parishad, BHP, is trying to polarize this for the sake of Hindu vote share. The Congress party is neither anti-Hindu or neither anti-Ram. The Congress party believes in Asta of Lord Ram, like millions of Indians do, and we strongly believe that this is a welcome move. The Pran Pratishtha should happen, the consecration, there is absolutely no issues. The presence of political parties there also, and the leaders are also not issue. Addressing the nation is a concern for the Congress party here. Neither has the Congress party issued any circular
now we have a fourth pillar.
Leaders from visiting Lord Ram.
Some days back they were all backing the Shankaracharya. You must have heard it last week. I think Dr. Ranganathan might have been on the debate. They were going after me. I think Tehseen Poonawala was there, and he was saying, look, the Shankaracharya said this. Are you bigger than the Shankaracharya? You're Shiv Shankar, but you're not the Shankaracharya. You don't know what you're talking about. You are no authority. And I bowed humbly. I said, yes, I'm no authority. Now I do my research. I come out with facts which have been corroborated and taken forward. There's even an appendix that has been added by Dr. Ranganathan. The appendix has been extracted from the Hindu, the cadaver of the Hindu, and it is there. And you can also read it, viewers. And what does it say? That even at Somnath, the Garbh Griha was the only thing that had been constructed. The rest of the temple came 14 years later. And now they are saying, no, we were not talking about that. Now we are talking about boycotting it because it's a political event. So BJP spokesperson is here with us. Could you respond to all these charges? Number one, that the nature of the ceremonies is different. It is Anavardhan, and no, it's not Anavardhan, but it's a Purnavardhan. Number one. Number two, that look. Yeah, okay. I got it, Mr. Jindal. You were very eloquent. I've got it. I noted it down because I'm not. So there it is. And now they say that it's got nothing to do with either, not even the Shankaracharya. Even they can take a walk. It's got to do with the politics of it. We don't like the fact that you're politicizing it. So, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, respond, please.
Well, good evening, Rahul.
Why are you doing this to them? Why are you doing this to the good Hindus of the Congress party?
Well, let me begin with the question: can we ever depend upon China to draw our defense policy? Then how can we depend upon Congress, which has always disregarded Hindu sentiments, to decide what will be the taste of Pran Pratishtha? I'm so glad that you have dug out facts which clearly establish that even the Somnath temple, when it was inaugurated, was only partially complete. What is most significant is that the Garbh Griha was complete. Now, look at how time has come a full circle. I remember exactly 5 years ago on your shows, they would ask, Tariq kab bataoge? Now they are asking, why are you doing it so early? So this is the plight of this opposition. Now, when it comes to distinctions drawn by Mr. Jindal, I want to ask him, did they draw similar distinctions when Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter to Pope Francis on 30th April 2016, on the occasion of the canonization of Mother Teresa, and sending her message across, and sending in fact two people from the Congress, including Margaret Alva? Do they similarly draw these distinctions on all of these issues? So why is it when it comes to Hindu faith, they manufacture all kinds of alibis to stay away from respecting people's sentiments, from respecting the faith of the people? Now, when it comes to the date, Pandit Ganeshwar Shastri, who is the chief priest, has very clearly elaborated on why 22nd January was chosen. There is not, a similar Muhurat, a similar auspicious Muhurat for the next 2 years. There is Abhijit Muhurat, in which Lord Ram is supposed to have been born, and there is an 84-second period around 12:30 p.m. on 22nd Jan, where Abhijit Muhurat is visible. So there are reasons which this Congress party and this opposition will not understand. But it is very important that they stay away from these issues at this point of time. They don't, if they have to stay away, they always stall the construction of the Ram temple by manufacturing reasons, through their lawyer Kapil Sibal. So why this pretense of, suddenly knowing more about Hinduism than the real Hindus? I think both ways, whether it is, I think that's a slightly different issue. But today, Iqbal Ansari has been less hypocritical, has been more forthright than the Congress party in immediately accepting the invite. Why does the Congress have to put up all kinds of...
Very quickly, Mr. Jindal, quick response. I want to bring in Mr. Chandrakant Sompura right after that. Yes.
Mr. Tuhin, you must be knowing that as per the rituals, Chaitra Mas Shukla Paksh Navami, 12:30 p.m. That is the most auspicious Abhijit Muhurat. You can look at the Drik Panchang, and I can tell you with all the sources that I have discussed with. So please do not give me this that 22nd of January happens to be a better Abhijit Muhurat than that of the Navami.
No, what is the problem? I don't understand. This is a completely, this is not an argument. Now you are going to even become a Pandit on the show.
No, Rahul, the problem is why this...
Dr. Ranganathan is saying as Sonia Gandhi told you this. I mean, look, let's you can't change. No, hang on. Viewers, I just want to come in here because I also want to bring in Mr. Sompura. He's the chief architect. Let's hear from him. At least he'll have some sensible points to make. Now, let me just say one thing, viewers. They say that the temple is not complete. So why is everyone rushing to it like lemmings? Then what is the UP unit today doing at the Ram Mandir, viewers? The entire Congress UP unit has popped up there and they are ringing the bells. If it is not complete, then why are they ringing the bells there? What are they doing? Viewers, it's bewildering. It's not mystifying because it's quite clear. It's just bewildering, viewers, that because it is so clear, the Congress is still missing in action. And I think Dr. Ranganathan has told you so. He doesn't pull his punches and he landed a few of them and left the others rattled tonight. Viewers, look, let's speak to Chandrakant Sahab here. He's the man who is building this Ram temple, and I want to ask you, sir, where did you draw the inspiration for the design? Sompura ji.
देखिए, प्रेरणा तो भगवान की दया है। पहली बात तो कि कई जनरेशन से हम लोग टेम्पल का ही काम कर रहे हैं। तो एक मंदिर कैसा होना चाहिए, और हमारे शास्त्र के हिसाब से पिताजी मेरे दादाजी ने 14 किताबें लिखी है शिल्प शास्त्र के ऊपर। उसमें सारे वर्णन है कि किस भगवान का कैसा मंदिर होना चाहिए। जैसे विष्णु है तो विष्णु का कैसा होना चाहिए, शिव है तो इसका कैसा, माता जी हो तो इसका कैसा, अलग अलग वो मंदिरों का वो है, सब नागा शैली में कैसे कैसे बनाए जाते हैं। उसमें से हम दादाजी के पास ही सीखे और वहीं से लगा कि भाई कुछ नया करना चाहिए। दादाजी कहते थे कि एक मंदिर एक जैसा नहीं लगे, आप कुछ नया करो। तो हमने इसमें अष्टकोणीय गर्भगृह बनाया। जैसे विष्णु का 8 स्वरूप है तो उसके सामने उसकी जो प्रदक्षिणा है जहाँ आदमी घूमेंगे वो गोल बनाए, जैसे शिवलिंग का आकार है, और ब्रह्मा और विष्णु महेश
जी।
एक जैसे एक ही मंदिर में हो, ऐसा भास हो, इसलिए सब किया गया है।
ये तो बहुत अच्छा किया। इफ यू डोंट माइंड सोमपुरा जी, मैं अंग्रेजी में आपसे पूछूंगा क्योंकि मेरी हिंदी उतनी जबरदस्त नहीं है, आपको अंदाजा हो ही गया होगा। देयर आर टेम्पल्स दैट हैव बीन मेड टू अदर गॉड्स एंड सेंट्स। शबरी जी और जो जटायु जी हैं उनके लिए भी आपने बनाया है। यू हैव कंस्ट्रक्टेड टेम्पल्स टू देम विद इन द टेम्पल प्रीसिंक्ट। ये क्यों किया गया? व्हाई वाज दिस डन?
इसमें तो पहले मेन टेम्पल है, उसमें तो पंचायतन मंदिर है
जी,
जो एक तो शिव जी का है, एक शक्ति का है, एक हनुमान जी है, गणेश जी है, सूर्य है, ऐसे करके 5 मंदिर वो है मेन कॉम्प्लेक्स में। इसके बाहर में ये जो रिलेटेड है, आपने जैसे कहा शबरी है, जटायु है, ये सब के अलग अलग मंदिर बनाए गए हैं। तो कोशिश करती है कि राम के साथ में जो जो एक आत्मीय थे कि जिसको रामायण से अलग नहीं किया जा सकता, उनके सब मंदिर अलग अलग बनाने की सोच है सर।
ये तो बहुत अच्छा किया आपने, क्योंकि अब वाकई में वो सबके राम होंगे। वाई ये जो मंदिर आपने बनाया है, ये स्टेजेस में क्यों बनाया आपने? हमने ये टेम्पल का कंस्ट्रक्शन एक साथ क्यों नहीं किया? वाई वॉजंट इट डन कंप्लीटली इन वन गो? एंड अभी आप ये कर रहे हैं, फिर वो लोग कह रहे हैं कि देखिए प्राण प्रतिष्ठा नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि सिर्फ गर्भगृह बना है और दूसरा चीज नहीं बना। तो इस पे आपका क्या टिप्पणी है?
इसमें ये बात थी कि इसका 3 फेज किया गया था। पहले ग्राउंड फ्लोर पूरा और 5 मंडप, इसके ऊपर दूसरी मंजिल और तीसरी मंजिल, ऐसा करके 3 स्टेज में किया गया। और पहली बात तो है कि राम जी मतलब एक उनका कोई स्थायी मंदिर नहीं था, जगह नहीं थी। तो जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं कि हमारा एक महल बन रहा है, उसमें 3 के 4 मंजिल का है, उसमें हमने 2 मंजिल बना ली है और वो फिनिश हो गई है फर्नीचर के साथ में। तो हम लोग जैसे उसमें मुंह हो जाते, ऊपर का काम चलता रहेगा, हमको क्या दिक्कत है
जी।
वैसे राम जी को एक अपने स्थान पे कि जहाँ 6x3 की खटिया है, उसमें जहाँ जन्म हुआ है वहां अगर बिठा देंगे तो काम एक अच्छी तरह से हो जाएगा और सरल भी हो जाएगा। और दूसरा ये है कि कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है कि पूरा मंदिर बने तभी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो। जैसे सोमनाथ का मंदिर का तो खाली गर्भगृह ही बना था, मंडप भी एक भी नहीं बना था, खाली मतलब 13x13 का गर्भगृह बना और इसके ऊपर डोम बना और पूरा मंदिर का प्राण प्रतिष्ठा उस टाइम हो गई थी। और अपने सब
There's confirmation. There comes confirmation from Mr. Sompura also. Dhanyawad, thank you for speaking to us and clarifying this. Somnath example, the precedent exists, viewers. I'm telling you, I agree for once with the Indian Express. The Congress is on the wrong side of history. Dr. Ranganathan, you pointed it out. QED. Let's move on, viewers, because maybe there are many of us who are unhappy with the Congress, but sometimes, viewers, when the anger comes from within, you understand just how deep it perhaps runs. We are going to speak to Milind Deora, who was a loyalist and close aide of Rahul Gandhi. He just resigned from the Congress, viewers, yesterday, and he posted details about his resignation on social media. His family, his father, of course, Milind Deora, had been with the Congress 55 years. Huge association comes to an end. Viewers, let's speak to Milind Deora tonight and understand why he took this step, why he felt the need to leave the Congress party at such a pivotal moment, and on the day, of course, when Rahul Gandhi is also launching his yatra, or at least the second iteration of it. Now, Mr. Milind Deora, thank you for speaking to me. It's wonderful to see you. You, of course, are now with the Shiv Sena, and you've said, I was reading, that one of the reasons you quit the Congress is because it isn't the party, according to you, that you joined in 2004. and then became a member of parliament from that party, winning twice from Mumbai South. Now, how is the Congress different now?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me on your show.
Most welcome.
I would amend your question a little bit. You said I've changed my allegiances. I haven't changed my allegiance. My allegiance remains to my city, to my state, to my country. I've changed the platform through which I can deliver justice, through which I can deliver governance to the people of Mumbai, to the people of Maharashtra, and to the people of India. I've done that. It was a very painstaking decision to take. It was not something that I wanted to do for 10 long years. Despite not having power, I stayed loyal to this party. This party gave me a lot. Congress party gave me a lot, and I contributed tremendously to this party as well. So did my family. This is a two-way street. It's not one-way traffic. But ultimately, you have to ask yourself, what is your purpose in life, and what is the purpose of your career?
Right.
And for me, the purpose of my career as a politician, the reason I entered politics in 2004 at excuse me, at a young age of 27, was to be able to contribute meaningfully to India and to my city. And I felt that Congress is no longer the party that it was when I joined it 20 years ago.
Right.
It certainly is not the party it was when my father joined it in 1968. And in many ways it's changed. I can only wish them the best. If they believe they don't need to improve, then I wish them the best.
Well, very gracious of you, but in what way exactly has the Congress changed since you began your career in it in 2004? Mr. Deora.
It's changed in many ways. It's in many ways, you know, this was a party which ushered in economic reforms, as I said in my speech 30 years ago. This was a party that ushered in these reforms because of which Indians have mobile phones and have access to the internet. People like you and me can be talking on a show remotely and doing this interview. But the party has disregarded that legacy. This is a party which used to offer constructive suggestions, but now it has only one ideology and one point of agenda, which is to oppose anything the Prime Minister says or does. And in my last 10 years as a leader in the opposition, you would have seen that not once have I made a personal attack against anyone in government.
True.
In fact, I would criticize on policies, I would criticize on ideas, but I would also suggest and make constructive suggestions. And that's the politics I've always believed in. I don't believe that politics is just about opposing for the sake of opposing. And I think that this country, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, even if you're a supporter of the alliance I'm now a part of, people still feel that this country needs a constructive and strong opposition.
Very true.
And it pains me that a party with a great legacy, a great history, forgot about its history and legacy and has moved into a realm where we are getting into when the Congress would once upon a time try to unite India. Now the Congress party is talking about a north versus south divide.
Wow.
Now the party is trying to divide people on caste. And do anything essentially to tactic points and try to get votes from the people. This politics, which is a very opportunistic style of politics, is not the politics I believe in. So I haven't changed my ideology. I haven't changed my allegiance.
Okay.
My ideology remains the same, wanting to serve the people of Mumbai, Maharashtra and India. I found a good platform, a good alliance through which I can do that. I've been told very clearly that indulge in constructive politics. Eknath Shinde ji, like the Prime Minister, is a grassroots leader. He comes from a very humble background, like our Prime Minister.
But let me ask you. Let me ask you.
And he told me very clearly that he wants me to contribute and help him strengthen Mumbai and Maharashtra.
Well, good luck to you. But let me ask you. You have been one of those rare politicians that takes responsibility. And you have always held yourself up when it comes to being accountable. You resigned from the post of the chief of the Mumbai unit when you couldn't obviously pilot the party towards victories in the Lok Sabha elections. But somehow one gets this impression that while Leaders at your level in other states also do the same. The highest echelons of the party are above accountability. Why is this so?
Look, I was made president of the Mumbai Congress unit in 2019, barely less than, I think, 20 days before the Lok Sabha election.
Okay.
I had no role to play in the party's campaign, no role to play in candidate selection. I accepted the responsibility. I did my level best. I gave it not 99.5%. I gave it 120%. When the election results were before us and the party lost, I was asked to resign. I didn't have any responsibility in that defeat, but I voluntarily agreed to resign because I believe it's important to show accountability. And I also felt if I can hold myself accountable despite not having the responsibility, I have every right to ask for accountability. And I did that in 2019. I did that in 2014 after the party was reduced to 44 seats. But each and every time I made constructive suggestions, whether it was to call for introspection, whether it was to call for a new thinking of a new way of doing politics, whether it was very recently to suggest to the party leadership that they are surrendering to Shiv Sena UBT faction, who Sanjay Raut suggested that Congress should start negotiating from 0 seats. All these were in the party's interests.
Right.
If the party had listened to even 1/10 of these suggestions, I believe the party would not have been where they are today. But unfortunately, in systems like these, what tends to happen is constructive criticism or constructive suggestions are seen as revolt.
Revolt.
And
Okay.
this is what happens in any undemocratic organization.
Undemocratic.
And unfortunately, I was a victim of
So-
an undemocratic organization. And I decided to move to into another platform which values what I bring to the table. And that's what I've done.
That's very interesting. Undemocratic platform. Therefore, you moved out where the values are different, so presumably more democratic. Now, is the party undemocratic because the Gandhis are? Because the top leadership is? Everything flows from the leadership, Mr. Deora.
I don't want to sort of blame it on one individual, but the party structure, the party culture is every organization has a culture, a political organization, a business organization, a media organization. The culture of the Congress, unfortunately, has become undemocratic. The culture of the Congress party, unfortunately, has become negative rather than constructive and positive. Yes, that is a fact. That is not for me to say, that is for the public to witness and to judge themselves.
Okay.
So I tried to change that. I tried to move the party into a different area where we don't just oppose anything the Prime Minister says or does blindly. We debate on policies. If the Prime Minister says, for example, I want to have a Make in India scheme to bring employment to Indians, to bring manufacturing to India, to reduce our dependence on countries like China, who are no friends of ours. It's a good strategic objective. We should give suggestions about what the government should do. Not one constructive suggestion, just oppose it for the sake of opposing it.
Well, you're being...
That's not the politics I enjoy.
No, because you're dignified, perhaps you are much too democratic, but let me ask you, it can be argued, now you're not obviously naming the Gandhi, but it can be argued, and many people will conclude that culture in organizations really flow from the top. So I'm going to be very blunt, because that's my style, and I'm going to ask you, does the party revolve excessively around the Gandhis? Does the Congress of today transcend the Gandhis? If it doesn't, why?
No, I'm not saying it's because of one individual or one family or one particular leader. I'm saying that the culture has become undemocratic for sure. The culture does not encourage constructive criticism. The culture, the system has, it's difficult to have your voice heard if you are providing, let's say, a left field, out of the box suggestion. That is not the Congress that I joined in 2004. At that time also there were many of the same leaders, but at that time the party worked very differently. Something has changed. Maybe in time we'll be able to psychoanalyze what went wrong with the party. But some of the people remain the same at the top, but something has changed. Something in the culture has changed. It's like, a tech company in Silicon Valley. Imagine a disruptive tech company in Silicon Valley where the the culture is to wear sneakers and t-shirts and shorts, and suddenly they say now everyone has to wear a suit and tie. That would be a monumental transformation, a monumental change in their culture. That can have massive effects on the outcome of that company, positive or negative. I think those are the things that happened in the Congress party.
Massive change.
Not an individual that may have done something.
Okay, so
it's not that the individuals changed, it's that the culture has changed.
Well, that distinction, sometimes is tough to make. It's tough to make. Now, I'm going to take you into your discomfort zone, Mr. Deora. I'm going to ask you very particularly now about Rahul Gandhi. Why do you think he lost, for example, very consequential election, changing point as far as psychology is concerned, his family bastion, Amethi? Why? It had a huge impact on the Congress.
Again, I would not like to use this opportunity to make personal remarks. As I said in my statement, my politics is constructive. I've refrained from making personal remarks against the BJP and against NDA when I was in the Congress. And I believe that I want to be positive. Rahul, when I joined politics in 2004, the first and only important advice my late father gave me is only an insecure person will do the politics of criticizing others.
Wise words.
If you're secure about your abilities, if you're secure about your ideas, you will speak about what you intend to do and talk about yourself, not others.
Wise words, and you are clearly adhering to that advice. But let's ask a larger question, because we are going into an election year, 2024, and whether we like it or not, the Congress is going to project Rahul Gandhi once again, as it has done. So I'm asking you, because the people have a right to know, and you are an insider, why hasn't Rahul Gandhi emerged as a national alternative to Prime Minister Modi? What does he lack, if at all, something? Or maybe someone hasn't given him the right message. Does he lack a message? Maybe someone hasn't given him the message that he needs to enunciate. What is it?
My parting response is, I think that, without getting into individual A versus individual B,
right.
I think what has changed in our country is that the voters at large, and this is a trend which we see in many parts of the world, the voters at large want leaders who are passionate, who enjoy what they do, who have come from humble backgrounds, who understand the pain and the true aspirations of the poor. And I think that is a fundamental difference and transformation that has happened in Indian politics today. And that's why I believe the people of India voted for the Prime Minister in 2014. They voted for him in 2019. And that's why I believe in 2024 they will vote for him. So
in a way you're saying that perhaps Rahul Gandhi doesn't have a finger on the popular pulse. He's disconnected. Well, that's one way of saying it. Let me ask you this, my final question. The Congress says that your shift has been motivated by greed. You just wanted a ticket.
No, this is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the Congress, if the Congress said that, I find it very surprising, because
it has.
There's today's a very auspicious day called Makar Sankranti, and in India, in our culture, people, for example, if they're buying gold, if families are buying gold, if they're buying anything, if they're buying a two-wheeler, if you're buying a home, if you're starting out on a new job, if you're embarking on anything, it's an auspicious day to do that. So it was not designed to disrupt, take attention away from the yatra. This is something which I decided because the Chief Minister would be traveling to Davos shortly to bring investments to Maharashtra. And this is something which I believed when I saw that the writing was on the wall. The party is not serious about wanting to change. The party is not able to negotiate with its allies effectively, give justice to its workers. I said it's time to move on. And Mr. Shinde was very kind to me. He was very keen to have me on board. He valued and respected what I brought to the table. And I took that decision. I took the plunge.
Well, someone values quite clearly your abilities, and I hope you can live up to their faith and trust. Mr. Milind Deora, best of luck to you for your career ahead. Thank you very much for speaking to me. We'll take a very short break, viewers. When we come back, air rage caught on camera. Watch this when we return.
it's done.
A volcano erupted in southwest Iceland on Sunday. It's the second volcanic eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula in less than a month. The eruption, which began in the early hours, posed an immediate threat to a small nearby fishing town. But authorities said that the area north of Grindavik had been evacuated the previous day, over fears that an outbreak was imminent amid an uptick in seismic activity. Early morning video footage from the site showed fountains of molten rock and bright orange lava spewing from fissures in the ground. Authorities have been building barriers of earth and rock in recent weeks to try to prevent lava from reaching Grindavik, some 25 miles southwest of the capital Reykjavik. But the latest eruption appeared to have penetrated the town's defences. A spokesperson told public broadcaster RUV that, based on flow models, it could take the lava a few hours to reach Grindavik if it continued to head towards the town. The eruption marks the fifth in Reykjanes since 2021.
Viewers, at the best of times, the middle class feels aggrieved when it travels in airlines. Most of us get treated like we are cattle, herded into planes, disregarded, not given any creature comforts. Even a glass of water can be hard to find, and obviously no one is really bending over backwards to sort of facilitate any degree of comfort. And in the last 24 hours, of course, that trauma of traveling in airlines was exacerbated 100 times because of fog in Delhi, which led to pretty much a lockdown for 5-6 hours. Yours truly was also stuck at an airport for 5 or 6 hours. Others suffered more when they were in planes, idling on runways. But viewers, while it is frustrating, while it is bad, you cannot allow your anger to overtake you. You've got to manage it. Unfortunately, we didn't see that. Look at that assault that was captured on camera. An irate passenger slaps the captain of the aircraft. The man ran from the last row of the flight and was seen punching the captain. The passenger was picked up and detained by security personnel. Indigo has formed an internal committee to address this entire incident, the act of no-fly list, is under consideration due to the unruly behavior of the passenger identified as Sahil Kataria. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Ministry has said that incidents of unruly behavior are unacceptable and will be dealt strongly in line with existing legal provisions. Here is a quick look at that interaction, what actually happened. Very condemnable.
Co-powered by
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. The Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya finally has the Modi Gallery. All those who went till now had been asking, where is the Modi Gallery? Where is the gallery dedicated to Prime Minister Narendra Modi? And that's now open to public. A special gallery cataloguing the life and achievements of Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his tenure has been inaugurated by President Draupadi Murmu. The gallery will be open to public from the 16th of January. The Modi Gallery focuses on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's early life, entry into politics, role as Gujarat Chief Minister that shaped his leadership and vision at the national level. The gallery, divided on 8 to 9 segments, focuses on Prime Minister Modi's style of governance, his pro-poor policies, steps taken for women empowerment and so much more. The Modi Gallery also will host key achievements boasted under the Modi government or by this government, including the construction of a Ayodhya Ram Mandir for Ramlala Virajman, the Ujjwala scheme, the abrogation of Article 370, the Unified Payments Interface or UPI and its success. India now sees, meanwhile, as we speak about the success of the UPI scheme, there is also the pro-Modi policy or the pro-poor policies of the Modi Sarkar. This is the latest data. There is a steep decline in poverty over the last 9 years under this current government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Nearly 25 crore people 25 crore Bharatiya have escaped multi-dimensional poverty in the last 9 years. That's what the report suggests. Poverty headcount ratio from 29.17% in 2013-14 is at 11.28% in 2022-23, and all the 12 MPI indicators show significant signs of improvement. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh have recorded the largest decline in the number of MPI poor between 2013-14 and 2022-23. Meanwhile, the industry body ICEA has revealed that electronics exports from Bharat to the US have jumped over twofold year on year to $6.6 billion. That's approximately 253% during the Jan-September